Hello guys, we are back with another tournament preview. I have my coffee and Lo-Fi Boy is going on in the background, so you know what time it is. Today we're going to be looking at the Old Head tournament. It's literally just finished the draft, so we now have our teams all ready. This might go on the BBOL. I don't know. If someone's nice enough to post it on the BBOL, then kind of all the plus if anyone wants to take a look at it. But for now, this video is kind of just for the Old Heads. They're in it. A little preview before the season begins. So let me have a double check that the slot drafts are in order. So A was Wooper, B was Perky, Magica was C. Wooper, Perky, Magica. Yeah, okay. So we'll literally just go down from A and work our way down. If you are watching from BBOL, if it goes on BBOL, let's kind of do a little explanation of what the rules are. So it's very similar to BBOL as far as drafting. However, in the first round, you can pick between rank 1 and rank 20. When you go to round 2, it's between 20 and 40, round 3, 40 and 60, etc, etc. However, when you go round 2, all the picks from 1 to 20, any that haven't been picked in round 1 are now banned. So it's kind of a way of balancing it out, making it so, because there's only 12 coaches, it makes it so the teams are reasonably strong. But at the same time, I think it works really well because it's actually still really competitive. 9th round, obviously, looking at a couple here. Perry, Colleen, Murray, Chad, Jason, Giambi. Like, these are 9th rounders, right? But they're also not ridiculously strong. So I feel like there's a good balance there. So basically that's what happens. After the teams have been drafted, which they have, we have been put into groups. There is the old standings and there's the head standings. So it's 2 different groups. That's a little look at who we've got in here. We will verse each other in the groups once. Whoever goes to the top, whoever wins. And then after that, it will go to I believe, a single elimination onto a double elimination. So there'll be a winner's bracket and a loser's bracket. And basically, that's how we decide who the winner's going to be. But I reckon we should have a look at the rosters, because that's the only fun bit, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So, let's start off with Wooper. Obviously with A, it's Julie or Henry. So Julie Dunkel, Larry Walker, Zoe Mallory, Stan Olafson, Randy Johnson, Dimitri Petrovic, Timmy Unger, Arlene Perez, Perry Marks. It's a very all-rounder team. Obviously Randy is Randy pitching-wise. Why would you not pick Randy? You know, if the option's there to pick him. Julie, again, is kind of a no-brainer. Slot draft A, so it's going to be him or Henry, realistically. Unless you're really looking for a pitcher, then maybe you can go J or Leia, but realistically, it's Julie or Henry, right? I think it's interesting when you look at round 2, 3, and 4. I always feel like with teams, it's these 3 picks that kind of decide what you're planning on doing, as far as like strategy field-wise and that kind of thing. This seems like a very vanilla team to me. This is kind of a team that can play pretty much anywhere and shouldn't really have any issues. I mean, Stan Olafson, you don't get any more vanilla jack of all trades than Stan. Zoe's very much the same. Larry's a little bit power leaning, but not enough that, you know, he's terrible anywhere else. He can play literally anywhere, Larry, right? So, all in all, that is just all around strong, regardless of where they're going to be. Randy's Randy. Dimitri, I'm not a huge fan of Dimitri. Dimitri's just a slightly better version of Horace Young, but free height is free height. And Dimitri, I feel, does have a nice bit of pop in him sometimes, so I don't think it's a terrible choice. But compared to some of the people in round 6, I think there's better options. But if we look at the slot draft, round 6, it was last. Yeah, so makes sense, right? Timmy Unger, Timmy's great. Nothing wrong with Timmy. He was last pick, round 6. He was first pick, round 7. And I think Timmy is what? I think he's bang on there, isn't he? Yeah, 121. So, again, just makes sense. Arlene and Perry. Perry, this is where he's trying to get a little bit of extra power on the board. Because at the end of the day, if you can get Julie on base, having any power at all makes it very easy for Julie to kind of do a lot of heavy lifting, which I think is kind of what she's going to have to do here. But, I mean, if anyone can do it, Julie, she's a carry, right? Anyone in that top 4 are carries, realistically. Especially Henry and Julie, because you can't walk them. I mean, you can, but There's an argument of whether you should or not. So, this is a very all-round team. There's nothing wrong with it. Any weaknesses? Not really. Like, even the team averages and team median, they're very vanilla. Like, they're very jack-of-all-trades. Maybe if you're nitpicking, you can say maybe the height is lacking slightly, but he's got height where he needs it. He's got a 5 height pitcher. He's got a decent first baseman in Dimitri, although Zoe could go there. But realistically, I think Dimitri's probably going to go on first. Dimitri's also a wide boy, which helps a lot with first base. And outfield, Arlene, Stan, and Zoe, I'd imagine. Perry, you can't put Perry in the outfield. Can you put Perry in the outfield? I'm going to turn this down ever so slightly. Nah. I mean, you can, but I wouldn't. You could put Timmy in the outfield. Obviously, Zoe and Stan. Lowy is shortstop. Stan could be shortstop, though. And then put Lowy on the outfield. Do you know what? I think that's better. Just have Stan at shortstop. Put Lowy in the outfield, because Lowy could catch a ballistic missile fairly comfortably. So why? Yeah, you have to put Lowy in the outfield. Yeah, it's an all-round team. Am I grading these? It's the old heads. We're all so close in level that it almost seems pointless grading them. I'll give them a letter grade just for the sake of, I don't know, being that guy. Content. I'll give it a B. It's a great all-round team, so I don't see any glaring weaknesses, like I said, so it's fine. What field is this good for? Again, it can kind of go anywhere. I think with the addition of Perry and Julie, let me double check. Yeah. I'd honestly just go something vanilla. Go for like Big City. In fact, Big City has a bit more bounciness, so I do think Big City's probably the bet here. Just get Julie on the base and then just start like grounding with like your Timmys, your Stans. Just get around. You can go for line drive, but I just think take advantage of that speed, I think. I'd almost say Playground Commons, because that left side on Playground Commons is really easy to get homers on. But it's really only Julie that could take full advantage of that. Lowy could, and Perry could, but if we're talking about consistent, it's probably Julie, right? I don't know. It's a B anyway. We'll give it a B. Right, Perky, Henri, Mark, Fred, Jason. See, this is exactly what I mean. When you look at these three compared to these three, it's pretty apparent what he's going for, right? Fred and Mark. Fred is a bit of a one trick. So's Mark, for that matter. Although Mark can go on first base reasonably fine. 4 speed on one base is a little bit tricky, but I spent season 6 with Melissa Waters on first base, and I mean, I won the division with that, so it depends, right? It depends who you're versing, I guess. But very power orientated. Mike Piazza obviously can. Mike Piazza, even though his stats are well-rounded, he's a bit of a one-trick too. Just because I feel like you don't fully take advantage of that eye and coordination if you're not going to go in the outfield. And do you want to go in the outfield if you've got 4 speed? You could put Mike at first. I think... Yeah, that's interesting, because if you put Mike at first, you could put Mark at third, but I'm not convinced 62 arms going to be enough on third. Either Mike or Mark would have to go outfield. But do you want either of them in the outfield? I mean, I guess you can put Mark there. It's speed, right? So it depends. Yeah, I almost feel like I put Mike at first. Outfield. He's lacking outfielders a bit, actually. Jason obviously is there. Colleen can. I guess Liz can. Because Liz has a good amount of speed too. 50-60 isn't like game-breakingly good, but it's enough. Yeah, Liz, Colleen, Jason in the outfield, Amanda at pitch. Who are you catching with? Bocco? It's a Parks team, this. It has to be a Parks team because I feel like this is so offense oriented that the defense kind of has been left by the wayside a little bit. Which, if you're going Parks and you're going offense, it's fine, right? But we are relying on outscoring. I'll give this one a C. It knows what it wants to do. Right? It knows what it's trying to do. And it's doing it well enough. Like I said, you go on Parks. That is a very dangerous starter free right there. But after that, I'm a little concerned that defensively, it's looking a little bit sus. And there's little pockets of like arm that to me could be exploitable if grounders start becoming an issue. But then again, see, I say this, but Fred's quite fast. Jason's fine. Liz is quite fast. So recovery-wise, as long as they can get the ball quick enough, it's not that big of a deal. I'll stick with C, but I mean, this has got power on Parks written all over it. Magica, Lindsay, Davey, Sully, Kristen, Earl, Petra, Jordan, Stephanie, Murray. Dirt. Or TCA. Actually, Lindsay on TCA is pretty gross, I'm not going to lie. But then again, I don't know if they're fully taking advantage of Sully on TCA. I think this is a cement, you know. There's opportunities to get home runs on cement. It's big enough that Sully can go like centre. And you can get plenty of use out of him, cover a much larger like area. Petra sitting on second on somewhere like cement is a little unfortunate, but she's not there to defend. Nobody's picking Petra under the guise that she's going to be a good defensive player. That's just not her job. Outfield, if you just go Sully, Morgan, Fauna? I guess so. Stick Morgan catcher. Stick Davey third. Realistically, are you going to pitch with Lindsay though? You're not going to pitch with Lindsay. I mean, you can. I did it in the Squid Leagues, but I wouldn't recommend it. Kristen Sullivan, realistically, right? It's Marty. So Lindsay will have to go first. I don't like that. Obviously, the obvious thing you'd assume here is that Stephanie Morgan goes first because she's a free height, but Lindsay in the outfield feels scary to me. She's got 10 coordination. It is magical though. And, nah. I'm going to give this one a C2. I think right now, as far as drafting, I think Whooper wins the draft war so far. There's little gaps so far in these teams. And I'm allowed to say that because I know what my team is and I know there's gaps in my team too. But Whoopers, I'm struggling to really find anything, you know, really that bad. I'll give it a C. Right, me, Cheryl, Francis, Sally, Hillary, Wendy, Jorge, Tanya, Ernie, Chad. Well, let's get this out of the way. Let's get this straight out of the way. Wendy is a little overvalued for 5th round, but it's also Wendy. Who do you expect me to pitch with? Christine DeBeatty, Frank Thomas, Wendy John. No, we're not doing that. Come on. We're going to pitch with Wendy. Bluer can support Wendy on pitch if need be. So can Chad. Realistically, it's probably more likely going to be Chad because I wouldn't want to Stam Blue out, which brings me to my biggest issue with this team. That Stam is a little bit suspect. Might have to keep an eye on that. There's a couple of experienced players in this tournament, experienced enough that if they wanted to Stam drain me, they would, you know, if they had the opportunity, they would certainly do it. Which is one of the reasons why I'm so glad I've got Sally. I think the power is fine. I think it's good all round. A little bit lacking in the big home run hitters, maybe. Obviously, Sally has 94, but it's a bit misleading because realistically, you're not going to hit, right, with Sally that often. The arm is insane. Because obviously I am going to steal, that's why I've got Ernie, so I also get whatever Ernie is. What's Ernie's arm when he's at steel? Let's have a look. Where have you gone? 74, yeah, so it's actually really decent. I want to give us a B. I won't. I'll give it a C because it's got errors, and the only reason why Whoopers is at a B is because I don't feel like it's got any glaring errors to it, whereas this does. I will see. Right, ASD. J, Don, Sophie, Mandy, Alexis, Nikki, Dante, Derek, Jason. There's a couple defensive errors. My biggest issue with this team is I don't think... I considered getting Mandy Coolidge because I was the pick after ASD. But I just don't see... 7 attention, 9 aggression. If the ball goes anywhere near my pitcher, I want my pitcher to be diving at it. I want my pitcher to chase down that ball. Mandy is going to just sit there. Obviously, it doesn't really matter when the ball does that snap when it goes straight down centre. But then again, Mandy's too high. You're trading that defensive structure, right, for having that power on that Mandy has. But is Mandy just a slightly better version of Angela? I know the difference in arm is quite substantial enough. Like that is a pretty big thing, but 64 arm again on a pitcher. Not for me. But there's people who like Luan and Earl and stuff like that, and they have like 20 arms, so it works for some. There's a good spread of power, really good spread of power. Jay, Sophie both on 100s, Mandy and Alexis on 88. There's home runs to be had. I'm just a little bit concerned when it comes to ASD fighting against like fast teams and whether Mandy's going to be able to shift herself quick enough. It's another C. If they're all going to be C's, so be it, because they all have like little niggling errors, like issues potentially, but none of them are like glaring, so they're all passes, I think. Whooper's the only one where I'm struggling to find something. Right, D-Dave, Leia, Kenny, Courtney. Right. Let's get the obvious thing out of the way first. Devil Dave is missing a Weber. Does that necessarily matter? No, you can stick one first. Or the outfield, I guess. Or third. She'll do a job. But you are losing a lot of value there, having Ashley at your 4th round pick. And I get it. He was waiting to the later rounds, but he left it a little bit long. I think he left it the full 9 rounds, because I do believe Devil Dave was before the guy who took the other Weber. I think. Could be wrong. Leah's great. Lofton. There's a good amount of consistent speed, though. 7, 8, 7, 6, 6. I think 6 is a sweet spot, right? Anything past that is kind of just the it's kind of just a bonus, right? But I think 6 is that sweet spot for being consistently able to get where you need to be. Roof and Lorelei, great contact. If you can get those on a base. With people like Kenny and Roof and Lorelei, this is very grounder heavy. This might be a dirt team. The arm's not bad at all either. In fact, I'm almost certain this is a dirt team. I'm trying to think who outfield you've got. Obviously Kenny can, Francesca. A lot of two heights. In fact, you've even got 2 free heights, right? Yeah. So Ashley realistically is going on first because you can't put Kenny on first. I mean, you can, but feels like a bit of a waste. Pitching with Holly. Just because I feel like this team works so well on dirt, and I feel like dirt is kind of the meta go-to pick these days. Mainly because this game, listen, I've been playing Blood Bowl recently, been playing a lot of Warhammer. It's all dice rolls and RNG, and I'm not convinced that this game is any less RNG than Warhammer is. I'm not going to lie. Especially when 2 heights are involved. So I feel like just grounding with this team, it's going to win games. I will give Devil Div a B. I'm going to give Devil Div a B. Power lacking slightly, but if it's dirt and grounder and you've got consistent speed, you get a tempo going, and they're just gonna do laps. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Right, BD, Chico, Maria, Alex, Samuel, Grace, Holly, Jacinda, Cowan, Melissa. This tournament's gonna be really good, really, really good because everyone has a really good idea of what works for them. And how to make a team as well-rounded as possible. Because there's no team so far where I'm like, there was glaring issues. Even with Devil Dave, he's weighted, but at the same time, a Weber is still a Weber, and it's fine. It's still a free height, so you can just stick him on first. Jacinda, realistically, is your first baseman here, right? No, because Melissa kind of has to go first. Because she's only a 4-speed. So where does Jacinda go? Third? 62's a little bit low for third. Pitching with Grace. Chico goes in the outfield. Probably with Awad and Middleton. Stick Maria on shortstop. And then Frankie Holly at catcher. Stick Cowan Donato on second. Yeah, I mean, this team writes itself. It's funny because all the old heads that were in the Little League either shouldn't have been in the Little League to begin with, or are at this point too good to be in the Little League. BD needs moving up. He's been in the Little League for long enough now. It's time for him to get bumped up. Devil Dave, this was his first season, I believe, if I remember correctly. I think it was. So he needs moving up. Whooper isn't Little League to begin with. I kind of like this team as well, you know. I think this is getting a B. Yeah. Position-wise, he has all his bases covered. We can talk about height, but again, it's not that bad. Yeah, it's going to be. It's going to be. Ben, Pete, Sarah, Star, Jeff, Christina, Jeremy, Ray, Artie, and Vincent. Realistically, apparently that's my word of the day. Star goes in the outfield. I don't like having Jeff at catcher. He might be putting Vincent at catcher. Obviously, Jeff Bagwell is the better catcher. He's the one in this team that is the catcher. But is he wasted at catcher? He's good everywhere. I feel like Jeremy goes third. No, he isn't. Jeremy could go first. Big head Jeremy could go first. Jeff could go... Stick Pete at third, Jeff at... Put him in the outfield with Artie and... Star, Jeff and Artie in the outfield. Christina's obviously pitching and then put Sarah at shortstop. I'm not mad at that. I've completely left out Way, which usually means he's going second. I mean, it's lacking in power a bit, but he's got 2 9-speeds. Just go grounder. It's going to be another grounder, RNG, roll the dice team. Where'd you go, though? Honestly, I'd go TCA. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 who realistically could get on the top of that truck pretty confidently. And anything over 7 speed on TCA is really solid. 2 9-speeds on TCA is pretty gross. Yeah. Is this one going to be? It's going to get a C. Only because I'm a little bit concerned with kind of how that outfield is kind of going to figure out. I suppose... Oh. Star on the left. So then Star can throw it straight to Sarah at shortstop. Stick Artie on the right. And then you can put Jeff in centre. Because if it's TCA, he's in the centre. So he's just going to be where the truck is. And he's going to have 94 arm. That actually feels really good. Obviously, this is all in theory because they haven't said what fields they're using yet. But assuming it is TCA, it's getting a B. If it's not TCA, I think it's a C. I think that's what we're going with. Right, Matt, Sammy, Jessica, Vlad, Mo, Lisa, Wing. I broke it. Where have I gone? Lisa and Wing? Oh. Is he putting Lisa at first? Oh, I like that. I haven't seen Lisa Crockett at first base in a very long time. My first ever team in Backyard Baseball, when I recorded it years ago for single player, I believe I put Lisa Crockett on first base. Lisa's great on first. Lisa on first. Mo can relief pitch, but then again, so can Lisa. And Nan, for that matter. Nan's obviously going to catch her. Stick Vlad, Jessica, and Sammy in the outfield. Put Sheila at set. Where's Gary going? Sheila might have to go in the outfield, you know. Put Gary at second. Yeah. Excuse me. This team's quite similar where I think it might be another TCA team. It's a little bit less speed than the previous one, but it's considerably less speed than the previous one. I mean, you could just go for a generic, like a BCS. Gary, Mo, and Sammy. Decent amount of arms where you need them. That's quite a lot of height too. Yeah, because there's quite a lot of height, so there'll be quite a lot of action in the outfield. I do think something like a BCS. Or, nah, see, you've got the speed, so yeah, you can just go BCS. If you had a slower team like mine, and I was going generic, I'd go more SCD. Because it's a slightly less bounce, but I think you can deal with bounce here. Yeah. I think this gets a C2. I think that gets a C. I'm just... Like, defensively, they're doing their job, but they have, like, no... I mean, shit, they can get to base. They have... 61 power is enough to get a half-decent line drive out, so is Lisa Crockett, but... Because I can't run with Wing, because he's pitching. Yeah, we'll go see. Red Ross is a little bit unfortunate because he's got autoed. Kenny, Pablo, Mikey, Parker. I mean, it's a lot of power. Clanky, Molly, Ramona, Scotty. Just go Parks. Right. I think this one goes without saying. Griffey, Pablo, Mikey, Parker. Just go Parks. You're going to leak ones because the height's not there. Clanky can't pitch. Can Clanky pitch? It wasn't a rule that Clanky can't pitch, right? I'm going to assume Clanky can't pitch. So who's pitching? Oh, it's Ramona. Ooh. I don't think Ramona's a pitcher. Which is funny, because she's not really good at anything else either. She can base one, I guess. That 72 contact makes that 69 power a little bit more forgiving. But 72 and 80 on the hooks. Ironically, for a Parks team, it gets a C. For the Parks team, it might get a B, actually. There's a lot of arm, you know. I think you stick this on. Stick this on Parks. Stick this on Parks all day long. It's going to get a C. There's an argument to put it on B, which is impressive considering it was auto-picked, but that's just a lot. And Molly's there too. And Clanky, for some reason, hits bombs. So, yeah. Considering that was auto, I'd be very happy with that team. Pekka, Jose, Barry, Joan, Lance. I mean, it's a Parks team again, isn't it? Jose, Joan, Lance, Barry and Frank, Isabel. There's not a whole lot needs to be said about this team. This team's got Parks written all over it. The arm spread is fine. Lance and Joan are an issue defensively. So is Isabel. I mean, it's a C because of that. Again, it's all subjective a little bit, right? Because I kind of have a bias towards teams that are a bit jack of all trades and can do a bit of everything, rather than teams that are leaning specifically in one direction, where I feel like this is. So for me, it's a C. But if you've got Parks on this, and you're a really good attack coach, as far as reading pitches and stuff, it's a B, right? But for me, I think it gets a C. Stern. Oh, Stern's the last one. Susan, Raoul, Norma, Alicia, Wally. Oh my Jesus Christ. That's really good, actually. I really like this. Stamina is pretty insane, not gonna lie. He has what, four pitching options? Plenty of speed, consistent power, an insane coordination average. The arms maybe a little less than some of the other teams, but not enough to be concerned about. He doesn't have a catcher. That's something. But, because realistically, we're going to assume Well's not catching. It's probably Jody. No, we can't catch with Jody. I mean, you can. She has 86 accuracy. She'll make the most of it. Who do you even go outfield here? So, Blakely, Raoul, Wally. Jody could go first too. I mean, not first. Third. Sticks Jillian on first. Susan the shortstop. Oh, Nomar. No, Nomar goes shortstop. This, I think, is like the highest of highest C's. As far as players, I like the majority of all the players that are in that team. However, I'm trying to fully figure out like the team composition, and I'm struggling slightly. Mainly because I'm trying to figure out where Wally's going. I assume second. But then Jodie's going catcher. Which against the faster teams is going to be a bit of an issue. Yeah, highest of highest C's. For me, out of all these teams, I think I'd Bed Bath & Beyond's if it was on, like I said, if it is on TCA, I think Ben might have won this draft. Maybe. We'll see. So, before I finish up, one last look at the groups. The first round, I'm going to be versing Magica, Whooper v D-Div, ASD v Perky, Pekka v Bed Bath & Beyond, Stern v BD, and Matt versus Wuss. I will be recording my rounds. Only 5 rounds, so nice quick one before we get to the elimination and stuff like that. But I will make sure to get those recorded. As far as the apparently I just can't say BBOL today. But as far as the BBOL, I am feeling a lot better. I might be coming back a little bit earlier than expected. Maybe at the end of the month. But we'll see. Right, we'll see how we get on. But until then, thanks for watching. And I'll either see you guys when I upload some more Blood Bowl stuff, because I'm still doing that too. Or until round one happens. Right, thanks for watching.